first is about getting all the access to the tweets from the Twitter database. For instance, here, first we need to get access of all the tweets from the Twitter database. So here we have accessed the apps.twitter.com, created our own API from which we got a lot of secret access code in order to get an access to the database. So using that, we created a piece of code in the npm. Just to give a brief of it, this is the code, and these are some of the consumer key and tokens that we got from Twitter database. Tweet is the npm package we used. Using this, we wrote a piece of code in such a way that it will live stream all the tweets across the world and get it to our database. So these are the tweets that we have recorded. For example, this is a representative of a tweet obtained over 1 day for the keyword Samsung. So you could see not even for the complete day, only for, we would have run this code for nearly 3-4 hours, and within that we got nearly 480 tweets. So, and this is our first input to do this analysis. Next, we took all these tweets. For instance, here for the current case, we really took 1060 tweets and we gave a scoring as 0, -1, 1, 0 being neutral, -1 being negative, 1 being positive. Once we establish the data, this is going to be input to our machine learning model. So the machine is, or the computer is going to learn how we did this prediction, build its own algorithm using some inbuilt algorithms like a decision tree or random forest method, etc. Once that is done, it can it has its own prediction model. So in the future, for any new tweets or any review data, it can make its own prediction as positive, negative, or neutral. To do this, we wrote a piece of code in R. So now I'm just going to show you the front end. So this is a simple GUI created in R, and at the back end we wrote a couple of codes. So first, we have to train the model. As we already told, we are given the 1060 data along with the scores allocated, using which I'm just going to train the model. So now the training algorithm is running at the background. Once, if I know the training is completed, so for example, so as you see, the training is still in progress. So now the training is complete. So now I can go and say, give some new data for prediction. For example, I have some new tweets already downloaded and kept in the name of tweets3. So it's also in a CSV format. So if you're interested, so there are nearly 125 tweets here, and I'm going to give this as an input, and I'm really interested in seeing whether it is going to predict this as positive, negative, or neutral. So we have uploaded the data, and then I'm going to say predict. So it is already the training model is available and the input data is available. Using the model and the data is going to do some predictions. And once the prediction is done, the results are going to be stored as a separate CSV file. In our case, we have this. So these are the tweets we gave as input, and these are the predicted results from the model. Just for example, let's see the first one. Another Apple product and still no headphone jack. Thanks, Apple. Whoever tweeted has been really sarcastic, and our model is able to predict it rightly. So that's a good news. So this is how results are recorded. So I've really got all my negative, positive, etc. So for now we are given nearly 124 tweets, and maybe we could give more tweets and we can predict the results. So having told this, what else can we do with the results? The code is also going to give us some data visualization to understand this better. So one of the results is recorded as word cloud. So once I click predict, again there is a couple of algorithms running in the background. It's going to use the model as well as the input file and going to do some predictions. So this prediction is going to tell us the entire tweet individually is positive or negative or neutral. This is one kind of input. Then I want to know the overall results. So I don't want to go through each tweet and see positive, negative. So it tries to give an overall view of how the health of the tweets look like. So that is recorded in the form of different word clouds and data visualization techniques. To first start with, let's see how the individual tweets look. All the results are recorded in this file. So if you could see, against each tweet is given as a negative, positive, neutral. So in this way the results are recorded. This is on individual tweet. Now let's see how the overall view looks like. So I gave you 125 tweets and overall how much is positive, negative, what are some key takeaways. That could be seen as so the first output is this, where we have all the tweets and the results are predicted as negative, positive, neutral. So this is the result one obtained. Next, we are going to see some data visualization. For example, here we have built some word cloud. So this is a positive word cloud. So basically, whatever things, for example, when we talk about Apple, people have expressed their good deeds in the words of thanks, love, and looks like they love the Apple book a lot, Apple Watch a lot, and these are some positive sentiments that people have been writing. Amazing design, they love AirPods, so iPhones, so some words. Of course, we can add some filters onto it and remove some unnecessary words to make it much more stronger. And this is only for 125 data, so it's kind of appearing poor. But the more data, more tweets you're going to use, it can give us a better data. So this is all about the positive sentiments. Next, I want to know what are the negative sentiments about Apple. Quite a few. So these are some negative sentiments about Apple. So especially people have a lot of complaints about iPhone, followed by MacBook, and about their updates. So the bigger the word, the stronger the sentiment is, and smaller, vice versa. So this is one way of quickly seeing what are the few takeaways in terms of the positive and negative side. So that is one. Next is, now I simply know what is positive, negative. For example, I know people have a lot of negative sentiments about iPhone. So what kind of negative sentiments? How each of them are connected? To do that, we have a different output stored as a result of this programming, which is, yeah. So this